What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another C programming tutorial. In fact, welcome to your a new level of C programming tutorial. And in this tutorial, I think we'll be doing something on strings. Okay, and to tell what is string, I think you all know. We just saw in previous tutorial or so that strings are nothing but an array of characters. Okay. As in the case of characters, we just terminate it with a null character, which is like this. And okay, you use single quotes when it comes to characters, but when it comes to strings, it's double quotes. Okay, it should be like this, uh, whatever you type here. Okay, so this is how strings, you'll represent strings with the double quote, and characters with the single quote. Okay, keep that in mind. String literals or string constants are always represented in double quotes, but whereas characters are always in single quotes. And both characters and strings both end with a null character, which was a slash and a zero. Okay, and a string, it's also same as I can say, as in the case of arrays, we saw that the name of the array itself pointed to the first element of the array. It's the same case on the strings. A string is accessed via a pointer to the first character in the string. Okay, and the value of the string is the address of its first character. Okay, it'll automatically point to its first character. Just I can say, and say it is appropriate that strings is a pointer. In fact, a pointer to strings first character, and yeah, it'll have a null character. Okay, don't forget that it has a null character. For example, if you make a char, I can say, and I'll name it a color. Then what you'll do is, if you just put it in double quotes, and I'll say black. Okay, so what this will do is it'll initialize an array, okay, of characters, which is nothing but a string. I've initialized it to black, and it'll have 6 elements. Okay, make sure it'll have 6 elements, because 5 are these characters and 1 will be the null character. Okay, and as you all know, as you initialize a normal character, you can initialize this one as well, the string as well as individual characters. As so what we have done here is we have just initialized as a single characters. Okay, and don't forget to put the null character here. So this would initialize it again, and this preceding definition of the string, it will automatically determine the size of the array based on the number on the initializer side, on this side. Okay, it'll add 1 for the null character. And as in the case of arrays, when we had to get the user's input, it's the same case over here. For example, if I take scan, using scanf, we can take input, as we all know, and %s will be the conversion specifier for string, and we don't need to put an ampersand. We didn't put it for arrays. As I said, strings also are pointers. When you just write the name, it would automatically point to the first character of the string. Okay, so let's see some of the functions, inbuilt functions of this one. Like something on character handling libraries. Now, what character handling libraries are? These are nothing but these will include several functions that can perform usual tests, and it can manipulate characters. Okay, so what we'll do here is we'll type a function, and what each function will do is it'll receive a character that can be int or anything. Okay, so let's just get started with that. I'll just take a printf statement. First thing I'll show you is we'll check isDigit. Okay, we'll just see what isDigit function does. What we'll do is, what this function will do is it would return a true value if the entered if whatever value we enter within those functions is a digit or not. It'll check if it is a digit or not. Okay, so I've just done it as this will be is digit. So inside this we'll just put in one parameter into in single quotes. Okay, make sure we are just using single quote, not the double quotes. Now just to reduce the number of lines, what I'll do here is I'll just use ternary operators. So I'll just use that, use if else statement. So if that condition is true, I want it to tell 8 is and if it's not, then I'll put 8 is not not a digit. Okay, so let me just build and run it. I think I'll show you the rest of the things, and along with that I think I'll just build and run all of those things together to save a lot of time. Okay, so I'll just copy paste it and change the keywords or the function name. Okay, so instead of this I'll just put, instead of is this I'll just put is alpha. So now what is alpha does is it'll return a true value if whatever we enter over here is a letter, or it'll be false. Okay, or else the condition will be false, and we'll check if A is an alphabet. Okay, capital A or small a doesn't matter. We'll just check if it is an alphabet. We'll paste it again and we'll see again is all num, and what that would do is it will return a true value if the value we enter is a digit or a letter. I've just written down all the functions, so I'll just tell you what is x digit does. I'll just check whether the number entered is in hexadecimal value or not, and remember hexadecimal value starts from numerically 0 to 9 and alphabetically A to F. And the next is control. It should be CNTRL. I'll just change it CNTRL. I just copied and pasted all the above things. Okay, so now what this would do is this would just check if it is a control character. Okay, it'll return a true value if the enter, like I've entered a new line character, if that is a control character, because it'll shift the control to the new line, right? So that is what it does. And I don't know what was wrong with C developers. They just removed O from this word. If they had put O everywhere, it would have been a whole word itself. Okay, so whatever it is C and TRL. Remember that. And now next, moving on to is lower. And what this would do is this would just check if the entered character is lower or not, and this would check is upper, would check if it is upper or not. These percentile s's are for each of these. Okay, so I'll just tell you this percentile s will be for this string. Okay, and this percentile s will be for either of these two. Either this condition will be true or this condition will be true, and the last percentile s will be for the lower. Okay, and remember we are using ternary operator. It will just check is this condition true. If it is true, print out this one. If it's not, print out this one. Okay, now let's just build and run it. So there you go. I'll just scroll it up. There you go. A is a digit. Let's show it here. Yeah, there we go. Sweet. So is 8 a digit? Of course it is. Then we moved on to is alpha. So it should be alpha. I think you can figure it out. These are small. As you can see, A is an alpha. Then is it a number? It'll check over here. Is all num? Yes, it is a number. Then it'll check is it a hexadecimal value? Yes, it is. 8 is an hexadecimal value. And it'll check is this a control character? And I just forgot to put a double slash. We learned it in the very second tutorial, I think. That's okay. I think you can figure it out. Okay, so now next we have checked whether it is a lower or uppercase. and that's what it does. It checks whether this is lower. Yes, it is. So it just says A is a lower and capital A is a upper. Then it will convert to upper and lower. So I just forgot to change the printf statement over here. I just copied and pasted it, so that was an error. So I rectified that, and what it does here is it will just take character A, and after it gets converted, it has become a capital A. As you can see, to upper, it'll convert it to a capital A, and similarly to lowercase, it'll convert it to a lowercase. Okay, so these are some of the inbuilt functions in C, or we can say character handling libraries. So in the next tutorial, we'll do a little more on C. So I'll see you in the next tutorial. If you have any doubt, please leave a comment below on YouTube, and don't forget to subscribe.